So I'm hearing that Sidney Powell and some people maybe out of Ohio and some other Trump super supporters, I guess, are calling for martial law. And, that would suspend the Constitution and whatnot, shut down the country to have a new election. For anybody that's been following me for any length of time, you're very aware that I'm a conservative and I'm a veteran. However, I don't have any delusions to the fact that all of DC, the vast majority of DC, is completely a swamp. And there's no way, no how, that having Trump in for another 4 years is going to do anything. Actually, listen to me. Don't be all like, oh, whatever. Don't. If you're conservative, especially if you're conservative, don't act like a whiny little girl. Wake up. A Biden win, although, yeah, is obviously very fraudulent, is going to be amazing. Let me tell you why. Because all the conservatives that have been sitting around for the last 4 years thinking that, oh, Trump's got this. He's not going to have anything. They're not going to take away our guns. They're not going to shut down churches. Pastors aren't going to be arrested. None of that's good. Trump's got it. Everybody just been sitting back. And I'm not going to go into a lot of detail with that. Obviously, those are for locals and states to decide. But that's not what people have been thinking. They believe that because you have somebody that you believe is supporting you because he's supposedly a conservative, um, everybody just sat back. But whenever Obama was in, the people that held the line, that held our Second Amendment rights and all of our, anytime a bill would go up for a vote, it would be shot down so fast that it wouldn't go through. Now, why has so many red flag laws, pandemic lockdowns of the country, how come that all of that has gone through? Because people have been sitting back doing nothing, believing that they could trust the plan and trust some QAnon, trust some 4D chess. It's ridiculous. Trump did nothing. Biden's a piece of crap. We got that. I know there's going to be some people that haven't followed Q since the beginning and watched the destruction and the martial law calls. So let me just show y'all that real quick. Actually, I came across this first. Interesting, right? Anyway, so all the way back in 2017, there were martial law. Let's just go ahead and implement martial law. And it was on QAnon Post. It was on these major Q pushers, Twitters, and all of these people taking an oath, raising their hand as if they were joining a military. Complete psychological operation, and so many people don't see how dangerous this is. Who in their right mind would ever call for martial law? I don't know. But it looks like this has been their plan the whole time, like we said, unfortunately. They cheated in the election. We all see it. We all see it. But a Biden win is going to destroy the left. It's already happening. They're already fighting each other because Biden is truly, if you honestly, unbiasedly look at Biden's record, especially before Obama, when he was, a senator, if you look at, he's very conservative. Very conservative. And so the far left is freaking out that they even let this happen. So it's not a win for them. And they're starting to realize it. So the only thing that they're holding on to right now is seeing crazy Trump supporters freaking out and calling for such insanity. Like, I don't know, martial law. Don't let them get to you. There's only one way to fix any of this, and it's from the bottom up. There's no way that we're going to fix that swamp in DC with Trump or any other Republican, because it is corrupt throughout the thing. We have to work from local and state electors, and you need to realize in your brain that the president essentially does nothing on a legal standard. We have three branches of government. I know people forget all these things and they think that the president is a king, and our forefathers are probably rolling around in their graves like, what a bunch of idiots. We have local and state governments for a very good reason. That way, when New York wants to have babies aborted at 9 months, well, they can do that. And you know what? You can move out of the state. But whenever states like Louisiana and Alabama want to get rid of abortion or Second Amendment, whatever, then that's what we're going to do. DC is not our concern. And everyone needs to realize that. And no matter what, a Biden win is going to be a win for us, because they're going to fall apart. They're already tearing each other apart because they're like, oh no, he's not. One of the old Blue Dog Democrats was saying, y'all need to shut up with this socialism nonsense. Like, he's already telling the squad and everybody they need to shut up because they're going to get more people, you know, more Republicans reelected. I understand you like Trump and he was going to do great things, but he hasn't. Whether you say it's because he hasn't tried or whatever the case may be, he's still running Operation Warp Speed, and I can't name any conservatives that I know that is supporting that, but yet they're supporting him. Why aren't you pushing back on that? Why aren't you pushing back on a lot of things? Because you've been too comfortable. We need to be uncomfortable for people to get up off their butts and actually do something and work from the bottom up. And I am seeing that. I'm seeing a lot of great things happening at local and state levels in many of the states. And we need a crazy Biden win that's going to just completely be disastrous. I mean, it sucks. It sucks. I don't hope that anything bad happens, but it's happening. But to act like Trump's going to save the world, to save our country, is just ridiculous. And to even fathom the words of martial law and suspending our Constitution is just beyond my comprehension. Although, it's exactly what we warned of. We said, 2 years ago, that this QAnon thing was going to bring in martial law. They were going to cheer everybody on to bring in martial law. It's exactly what we said. And people said, oh no, it's going to be for them, tribunals, all that stuff's going to happen. None of this would be going on right now at all if Trump would have held some treason trials or something for Obama and Biden. Like for them not really killing Osama bin Laden, and instead they decided to go ahead and kill 30 of our special forces just so they wouldn't talk in Extortion 17, just to cover up the fact that they didn't kill Osama bin Laden. It was really Abu Hamas, which they didn't kill him either. They just sedated him and flew him to the U.S. But that's a different story. If you want to actually hear all that, it's on my backup channel, Jennifer Veterans for Truth. But do not let these people bother you. That's what they're striving. They want people, they want conservatives to be doing that, to be freaking out. Don't freak out. Don't even show them that it's bothering you. Be prepared and start working from the bottom up. If you have to do, let's put this in a physical way. Let's say that your 5-story building, somebody dropped a nuke in it or something, like something bad, something exploded in your 5-story building. Are you gonna go start putting on a roof, or are you gonna see if the foundation is cracked? Because the foundation is cracked. There's cracks all over. And we have to fix those foundational cracks before we do anything. Do not support this nonsense. Everything that needs to be done needs to be at a state and local level. Because no matter what any of the DC people say, they're not fixing anything. They're all running this vaccine nonsense. They're all saying the same stuff. But they're just saying it in different ways. Yeah, it was completely illegal. But let me have you understand this. Do you realize that how our Constitution and our electoral system works, no state is even forced. A state does not even have to have a national election for president. If something was going on and they just said, forget it, we're just gonna let our 2 guys go up there and for the electoral vote, whatever, the electoral college, and that's fine. They do not even have to hold a public election. We always have, because, I mean, it's the right thing to do. But we have an electoral college for a reason. And on top of that, if they do throw out all of the votes and everything, well, that's going to be good for the conservatives too. But they would have to throw out all of them. Or they'd have to throw out like half the states or something. And then what would happen is one representative from each state, from the House, I believe, would vote. And so the conservatives would win in that case. But stop following these crazy people. This Release the Kraken lady needs to shut her mouth. She needs to shut her mouth because she sounds crazy. And I think she's just part of the plan. And just don't fall for it. Stay focused on what's important. And share this with other people. Do not let other people talk you into this being a good idea, because it would not be a good idea. It would be disastrous, and it would just give them a precedent to say, oh, well, we can just suspend the Constitution whenever we want. Remember? Because the conservative wanted it for Donald Trump's election. He's not that important, y'all. He's just not. We have checks and balances in place for situations like this. That's why we don't have a king or a dictator, although they act like it because we give them the power. We act like, oh yeah, it's the president. That must mean that the president literally has like three jobs, like three. He's the commander-in-chief. He is the person for foreign relations, and he can do executive orders, but only to a certain extent. He's really just an administrative head. That's what a president is. Don't let this get to you. And share this. Like, chill out, laugh. Like, just say, like, I mean, seriously. I knew this QAnon thing would end up being of a martial law situation, and it's just astonishing to actually see it happening. But the left is demolishing itself right now. Let them do it. Let them destroy themselves. Don't help. You don't need to help. Anyway, guys, y'all have a wonderful day. Like, share, and subscribe.